say you know etia and last week yate say the ruling IFA Kennedy Japan Loud Silence Media Kevin Taylor about federal court to Virginia Hano the ruling came out now so who kind ruling ni pa it's the last part of the ruling no me who senkofobi misinforming the people of Ghana about the ruling and it's important I make some things very clear in the ruling also TSS say the ruling no what happened was, you started as seminal. Before I go on my editorial, I take care of my editorial. You started as seminal. Obia throw the statement. Let me make it simple. Send by Obia Betias here. Obia throw the statement. Kennedy assem call court. And okay, say Kevin Taylor and Loud Silence Media. Yes say. In some hour true ni. You need dim pan or simekun beso nekun JB Dankwa. Yene said dim you know ese osime na mse oni ne kun eye Ahmed Swale and osime the computer a commit crime because me tena internet so and am di gu ne ho fin into up 9.5 million. Now I think said the case the document in 32 pages. There are some things I've not spoken about it before. Mami Chimunde. Into the suit in papers na 32 pages, 32 or 33, something like that. And court survey yeah. Say assemble the Kennedy Abeka or say waka say or $9.5 million or so a defamation we good thing. Intermediate no and I quickly made them my lawyers and I told them to handle it. Now my lawyers handle no almost checking Kennedy in some training and they went into the archives and they also put together what we have to put together as defense. So so we responded to the court with 230 pages. These are some things some people can't want some that. So our response was 230 pages with videos, with pictures, with with a lot of materials. 230 pages. That was our reply. Now your 230 pages or something more than that, when they got it, because we had to also serve them our response through the court. That was when quickly they came back to amend their case. Into almost a 230-page response, then they came out to amend their first case. Into amending the case, and amendment by I think it was Osadikan and other ones, and they could do by 60 something. And I think we replied with 280 or 140 pages response to the amendment. Into also TSS the original case so amendment they see an amendment na consider into a fan said the first one e bia maybe 1 to 2 years into my response naturally say also the case ye into amendia first one or the by na responded to about 250 pages sa amendment a first one is the amendment and na ye looking at and then we responded to the amendment. So when we responded to the amendment and at the end of the day, it could be judging him. Judge where judge okay say we were all supposed to be in court on the 18th of a year month way. Now ontie legal argument from a year both lawyers. Now what was going to happen is ontie legal argument we are. Now say who say argument now both lawyers from Kennedy's side and from our side there now some better assume because we are saying say in some na Kennedy training in fact my court engine too because at the end of the day a dear engine so no and every time you be court you be busan say udi for and I undi for and the kudenti say I'm not guilty ni say the nipa na to so automatically or catch a court is a touching that is why every time when you go to court you hear people say I am not pleading guilty, I am not guilty, and it happens in every single court. Because the moment I be court, I say, do you plead guilty or not? Now I say I plead guilty, and I said, "Ni pani de ba ni no, uji tum say no kre." In court, every lawyer will tell you the moment they come and say, "Do you plead guilty?" Just tell them you don't plead guilty, and that the ni pani ba no indirectly you are telling the court to say, "Menjintum eningina so." In some kind of any nine eninsa. So what happens and say after your amendment now you're responding to the amendment with more facts, more documents 18th of March was set for Kennedy's lawyers and my lawyers to meet in court in front of the judge. These are things people don't know. Now, a day to the 18th of March, judge, because you have to understand, this process, we can choose not to go. Me, my lawyer told me not to appear in court. She and the other teams, my Stacy and Bill, they are going to handle this with the other guy. I had about 4 lawyers, but 2 were actually leading this case. So they told me, say, I should not show up because they don't really need me there. They can do the job. If they need me, they'll let me know. And see, I had the chance to go, and my lawyers told me, don't even appear. We are going to represent you in front of the judge. Now, a day, 17th na judge. Remember, that time your response to an amendment in your court at the judge in him. The morning, the 17th, and will be an email from the judge's office, from the court to say, nobody should come to court on the 18th, the next day. And that the judge wants to read. He wants to read the arguments from both sides on one kasa. He doesn't even want to listen to the lawyers of both parts, the plaintiff and whatever. Also, on Beso Kennedy lawyers, on Beso me. He just wants to read the arguments, written arguments, In my space of 2 weeks, say you bring the results from the judge. I think about 5 days. And the email at the same time say the case has been dismissed. So as I sit here, I never saw Judge O'Grady. I don't think Kennedy even saw him. And I don't even think Kennedy's lawyers even saw him. And my lawyers, as I speak, they never saw the judge. Everything was written. Now, judge didn't rule in the bar, The day they pushed the ruling out, it went to Kennedy's lawyers and it came to my lawyers. And my lawyers called me and said, the ruling is in. They have emailed it to me and this is the ruling. Now, so Osha ruling, the final part of the ruling, or say, I need to do this and send my editorial quickly. Because the misinformation about them, some of the question, when the says, I pardon for no to me reading and tiasie. And the moment I'm to me reading tiasie, I am not told me Jimmy, anything. Kelvin tell I could say, I'm out for me. Ebejina federal court enim judge enim aka cha judge ne say baby omko hu sama ko tiesika ma judge no omonka me say ebesi but say me when I'm in court I don't speak, I don't talk when you ask me, because I have a very 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 smart legal team. When it comes to the DC Virginia area, my law firm, baby I'm a lawyer, was voted one of the best law firms around. So it is not like they don't know what they are doing, they know what they are doing. And this American, we cut it, we put it down. Those who are working on it are working on it. You'll be at home, they will serve you to come to the federal court to come and say, Judge na meme disika komano and nipa utiakan. So these things are easy job for me. I don't need to fight a pig because I don't want to dirty myself. And there are so many pigs in Massachusetts, so many pigs at Worcester, and I will never fight pigs, but I will let the law deal with the pigs. Now, Muntie. The conclusion in his dismissal ruling or say, it is undisputed that AGYAP0NG is a public figure and Taylor's statements were made regarding matters of public concern. The reason why the judge wrote this, it is undisputed that Kennedy AGYAP0NG is a public figure. When you take that position as a public figure, when you take that position to be a president, to be a minister, technically you have opened yourself up for criticism, constructive one, and then people have the right to check even a statement you make in your office or out of office. And for the judge to start this, he wants to tell you, say, you are not immune to criticism. You are not immune because you are always in the news, and journalists and media houses have the right to criticize your actions, what you say, assess you. So you cannot say you are in the public eye, but you don't want to be discussed. No. Now, Judge Nichols can say, the amended complaint does not plead any factual material that demonstrates Taylor's disputed statements were published with actual malice. Now, the first one now, amendment no na bekataso. The first one is not important. Amendment na judge neche. Because and then what is in front of him. And I'll say amendment na done anymore. No. Be anywhere say whatever I said was with malice. And amendment it could not prove any actual malice. When who be a woman, I was say Gina so Casa Taylor a defamum. And the judge went on to break it down more so that more when you read, you will understand where the judge is coming from. So the judge is dealing with the amendment. And the amendment is the final document in front of the judge. Pardon for no. Menya abotre na me kan brofo na me check because mo monte ase. Enti pardon for montie. And also course not say. Therefore, AGYAP0NG has not adequately pled any actionable claim. The judge is referring to your amendment that Kennedy AGYAP0NG and his legal team, they have not adequately plead any actionable claim. That means kratana ekuta amendment na Kennedy diabano. O who be a single thing woman say or engineer so asemna or kano. He has seen nothing for him to sit and say, okay, let me look at this law. Let me look at this law. Let me consider this statement. He is not finding anything because the judge is working within the law. He is applying the law. He is a federal court judge. He's not a circuit court judge. This is federal. Say anke Ghana anke Supreme Court assembly kind of federal. Now, of course, not say. Further, the amended complaint does not possibly state a claim under the Virginia Computer Crime Act. Onu se Kennedy ka say me the computer abo edibone be the committed crime. Enti omunhwe Virginia for e wo mrebu ha e betumi atwemaso. Mama metieska ama maso ama some kind of action will be taken against me. And a judge and say, for these reasons, the motion to dismiss the amended claim DK13 is granted. The motion to do what? To dismiss. Time Kennedy did an amendment by no. Right now we are dealing with the amendment. We in our response we countered Kennedy's amendment, and the counter now make us a counter and say we proved to the judge say all that is in Kennedy's amendment does not make sense. So we were telling the judge say the document that has been given to you as an amendment, it does not show anything, no facts, no actual malice, nothing. So don't waste your time, Mr. Judge. This in court should not stay. Because if we had not supported our argument with facts, but the judge considered our response to the amendment and looked at our facts we provided, materials we provided, the factual materials, the audios, the articles, the news outlets. The judge put side by side, juxtaposed the amendment and also the response to the amendment, and realized that the response was more solid. It proved, it cancelled out every single thing in the amendment. So the response was stronger than the amendment. And even the amendment, the judge could not find anything that can hold me liable to anything. He finally completed Namuntiewe. For these reasons, the motion to dismiss the amendment complaint is granted and the above captioned civil action is dismissed. What is the above captioned civil action? The above captioned civil action, any civil action number 121 CV 1205, Kennedy AGYAP0NG, plaintiff versus Loud Silence Media et al. Defense. And the matter comes before the court. The above action is defamation. It says that one is dismissed. And the judge is looking at the amendment. He goes on to finish and say the plaintiff, that is Kennedy AGYAP0NG, has 60 days to file a second amendment complaint. If that filing would meet the requirement discussed in this order. So the judge is saying, Kennedy has 60 days to file another amendment. It's not an appeal. He says to file another amendment.